Now, finally, after 1 year, this Simon Commission has given the recommendation. That is 1929. They have given the recommendation. That is the dominion status should be the dominion status as well as roundtable conference. So, how many proposal they have given? The two ideas, two proposal they have given. That is roundtable conference and dominion status. This roundtable conference and dominion status proposal has been accepted by the Viceroy of India on that time. So who was the Viceroy? Lord Irwin. And what is the meaning of Viceroy? Viceroy was the supreme authority of India, British India during that time. So remember, Viceroy was very highest post, you can say, within the British India on that time. So the Viceroy of India, Lord Irwin, has also given his approval of this dominion status and roundtable conference. So I will tell you what is dominion status and what is roundtable conference. So roundtable conference means the table will be round. Yes, it is true. The table will be round, and it will not take place in India. It will take place in London. And in this particular meeting, all the political major parties representative will participate, and they will discuss on the political and constitutional future of India. Fine. Once again, I am repeating. They will discuss on political and constitutional future of India. I hope till here picture is clear very much. And the second very important thing is dominion status. So dominion status is a type of controversial concept in which you will not get full independence, you will get half independence. What is the meaning? Suppose India will become independent and India will get title of dominion status. Means India will not be the completely independent country. Even after independence, India will be under the British crown, British queen, so that type of half independence concept was there, that is dominion status. So obviously which will not be liked by the Indians, and especially the leaders like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose. They have straight away rejected this particular proposal, and in 1929 from the Lahore session of Indian National Congress, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru has announced that India will take Purna Swaraj. So what is the meaning of Purna Swaraj? The complete independence. So you remember, this is very famous slogan. That is India will take Purna Swaraj, nothing less than that. And after that, I also tell you that from this particular session only it has been announced that the next year, that is 1930, 26th of January, will be celebrated as the Indian Independence Day. So remember, for the first time we have celebrated our Independence Day in which year? In 26th of January 1930. So in that way you can understand very important and interesting things were going on in this particular phase of 1923 to 1930. Fine. The leaders like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose was doing excellent work in this particular time period. Now we'll discuss this one, that is civil disobedience movement. Fine. So here this is also very important topic, because from here also one 5 marks question always comes in examination. So let's start that. So here, so far after this non-cooperation movement, in this entire particular part, we have not discussed about Gandhiji. But you remember, Gandhiji was there and Gandhiji was watching everything. So Gandhiji was watching everything, and Gandhiji thought that this is very high time when we can unite people further and we can do one very big movement. So that is why he started one very important particular he wanted to start one very famous, one very big movement. But before that, he has demanded 11 things from the Lord Irwin on the 31st of January 1930. And in this particular 11 demands, so many things were there, like the tax should be removed from the salt. That was the most important demand was there. Apart from that, they were also demanding for the laborers, peasants, workers, and a number of other demands were also there in these 11 demands. And one more thing you always remember, that when this particular demand came to Britishers so Britishers, especially the Lord Irwin, was taking this as a joke, and he was taking Gandhiji very lightly, that what this old man can do with the power of salt. Means they were initially not taking Gandhiji very lightly. Means they were thinking that let him do whatever he want to do, we will not even accept his single demand. That was the statement of Lord Irwin. And then Gandhiji has given the time to Britishers till 12th of March. Sorry, till 11th of March, Gandhiji has given the time to the Britishers. But Britishers till 11th of March, they have not even accepted the single demand from of Gandhiji. And finally, 12th of March, remember I am writing the date here, that is 12th of March. Okay, so 12th of March, because when Britishers have not accepted even the single demand of Gandhiji, so Gandhiji was very angry, and that is why from 12th of March Gandhiji has started Dandi March. Remember, very very famous this march was there, that was Dandi March. So Dandi March is started from the 12th of March, and it will be there. It will this Dandi March will finally complete on 6th of April 1930. 6th of April 1930 it will complete. So let's little bit discuss about the Dandi March also. See, Dandi March is started from 12th of March. It will be there for 24 days. It will be there for how many days? 24 days. And Gandhiji along with his 78 volunteers have completed 240 miles. The distance 240 miles from Sabarmati Ashram to Dandi. Dandi was a coastal place. So they have started from Sabarmati Ashram and they were moving to Dandi. So the distance between Sabarmati Ashram and Dandi was 240 miles, and they have completed within 24 days. And wherever they were going now, so it was looking like a white river is flowing. That type of particular historical scene was visible from this Dandi March. And Gandhiji was welcomed with the garland, with the flowers, with so many things. People were welcoming like Gandhiji was coming like a god. Lord Ram is coming. So this type of welcome people have given to Gandhiji. It was really historical pictures were there from that particular Dandi March. And finally it was over in 6th of April. And when it was over in 6th of April now, so Gandhiji has broken the salt law by making salt in Arabian Sea, because you all know Gujarat is located in Arabian Sea, near Arabian Sea only. So in that way this entire Dandi March was over. And once this Dandi March over, Gandhiji officially started civil disobedience movement. So just after Dandi March, civil disobedience movement is started. So when civil disobedience movement is started, how it is different from the non-cooperation movement? Remember, in non-cooperation movement now, we are just not giving cooperation to the Britishers. But in this civil disobedience movement, we are not giving cooperation to the Britishers, as well as we are breaking the laws also. We are breaking the rules and regulations also. Like Gandhiji has broken salt law. So similarly, other communities have also stopped doing n number of things. Like for example, the peasants have stopped giving Chaukidari tax and other taxes, other revenues. Chaukidari tax was a very controversial tax. What it is? So what it was? So Chaukidari tax was, as I told you, very controversial tax. And here now the Britishers were forcefully telling to villagers that you should keep one Chaukidar, you should keep one security guard. And even if you are not willing to have, then also they were forcing you to have one Chaukidar. And this Chaukidar people's payment you have to do from your own pocket. Okay. And these Chaukidars, these particular security guards, instead of providing you security, they were doing jasusi, or they were doing spy work of you, and they were taking all the hidden information from the village areas and they were providing to these Britishers. So that is why these Chaukidari tax were very very controversial. Apart from that, the tribals also have stopped following the forest law and the tribal laws, and they started using the forest resources and other particular activities they have also started doing in the tribal area. So they also stopped this particular forest law. Who? Tribal people. N number of places in India, people from n number of places in India have started manufacturing the salt. And that is why this civil disobedience movement was becoming very famous throughout India. And finally this was the action which was taken by the Indians. And Indians have also boycotted the foreign goods. They have also picketed the liquor shop. Picketed liquor shops means they have forcefully stopped the liquor shop. And apart from that, the forest clothes were also boycotted. So n number of things were going on in this particular civil disobedience movement. People have also boycotting their titles and all. So this type of activities were also going during the civil disobedience movement. You can see these are similar to this non-cooperation movement. Fine. But there are differences also in this non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement that I'll tell you. And one question is also coming, that what is the difference between non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement. So one I have already told you. Here only we are stopping cooperation and support, and here we are stopping cooperation and support as well as we are breaking the laws. So one particular difference I have already told you. Second difference you can tell about the year, that 1921 to 22. Here it is 1932 34, है ना. But this civil disobedience movement took place in two phases. Remember na, two phases. Phase number 1 and phase number 2. I'll write here. That is, phase number 1 and phase number 2. So here phase number 1 and here we have phase number 2. Fine. So phase number 1 took place from 1930 to 31 and phase number 2 took place from 1932 to 34. है ना? So how these two phases stopped, that also I'll tell you in detail. Okay. So here now we will complete everything today. Fine. So this action you can see from the Indians, they were boycotting the things, they were breaking the laws and number of things they were doing. Fine. Peasants were not following the rules, the tribals were not following the rules, the common people were not following the rules. Hai na? After that what happened, the Britishers now started taking action because people were breaking rules and regulations. So Britishers were directly arresting the people and they were putting in jail. So around 1 lakh people have been arrested, including all the big leaders like Abdul Ghaffar Khan. A very big name was there, who was the biggest supporter of Gandhiji, one of the biggest supporter of Gandhiji. Abdul Ghaffar Khan was also known as Frontier Gandhi because he was a very big follower of Gandhiji. That is why he was also known as Frontier Gandhi. So when Abdul Ghaffar Khan was arrested now, so people have become very angry on the Britishers. And later some people were there who were acting like a middleman. Means they were also in the connection with Indian National Congress, as well as they were in the connection with what? Britishers also. Fine. So these middlemen people only made an environment where both Britishers as well as this Indian National Congress representative can talk together, that what can be the solution. So through this mediator only, Lord Irwin, you remember on that time Lord Irwin, who initially taken Gandhiji very lightly, now Lord Irwin is taking things very seriously because the things are increasing and increasing only. Fine. That is why Lord Irwin has given proposal to the Gandhiji that if Gandhiji will stop this civil disobedience movement, then the all political prisoners who have been arrested will be released, as well as whatever demand has been said by the Gandhiji will be also discussed in a round table conference. Okay. So Gandhiji was having this particular promise from the Lord Irwin, as well as Gandhiji was also watching that some parts of the country were witnessing violent activities. So by keeping everything in mind, finally Gandhiji has stopped this particular first phase of civil disobedience movement in 1931, and after signing Gandhi-Irwin Pact, remember na? So Gandhi-Irwin Pact took place in 1931. So after signing Gandhi-Irwin Pact, officially Gandhiji has stopped this this civil disobedience movement first phase, and he went to round table conference which was taking place in London, and it was second round table conference. Remember, there was total 3 round table conferences were there. Round table conference number 1, round table conference number 2, and round table conference number 3. Round table conference number 1 took place in 1930, round table conference number 2 took place in 1931, and round table conference number 3 took place in 1932. So Gandhiji has only participated in second round table conference, that is 1931 one, and here one leader was there who has participated in the entire 3 round table conference, and the name of the leader is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And here you must remember why Gandhiji has not participated in the first round table conference. You remember here in this one, Lahore session. Okay. So people were very angry because of the dominant status, and the leader such as Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru said that we want Purna Swaraj, we don't want your dominant status, we don't want your round table conference. So Indian National Congress as well as other political parties including Muslim League and all, they have boycotted the round table conference. That